Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Ken. Welcome, everybody, to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host, Josh Taylor, in tonight for Bob Pompiani. Joining me at the desk, columnist for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Gene Collier is here. Gene, we were talking about this before the show. We're trying to figure out what could we possibly talk about tonight?
I don't know. Anything going on?
Training camp's coming up in a couple days.
Penguins?
There's a new logo for the Stadium Series.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be in Philly next February, so a nice little keystone with the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia.
Okay, we'll take calls on that.
Yeah, we can do that. Wait. Oh, wait, the Pirates are playing now, too. There's that.
Right here, yeah.
Apparently they're winning in Cleveland, 7-0.
And there's some kind of streak going on?
Yeah. What was it? Is it 9 in a row?
Yeah.
9 in a row, Jared? They've won 9 in a row, apparently?
Right.
I mean, we could talk about that.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough. I mean, your thoughts on hearing something like that?
Well, it's, the amazing thing, I think, Josh, as the show turns serious,
Yes.
is, the way they've been doing this. These are not 9 2-1, 3-2 games.
Right.
I mean, they're pounding people. And they're combining this incredible offense all of a sudden with a string of great starting pitching and relief pitching too, but they haven't needed much relief pitching.
7 innings from Trevor Williams.
All 3 starters win in Cincinnati. Trevor Williams looks like he's going to win tonight. They're ahead 6-0 during a third rain delay, or 7-0 during a third rain delay. Last week on the show, I guess I was here with Richie. I said, 6 wins in a row. Even bad teams do that now and again. But 10 is a little different.
10 it will be the first time they've done it in 14 years.
Yeah.
July 04 was the last time they did it, which says a lot. And I'll ask you this question, because the thing we keep hearing is when we talk about the streak getting extended longer and longer, the next question is, well, can it be sustained? I had a question on Twitter. Well, can they sustain it is the question.
Yes, they can win the last 61 in a row.
I'm sitting there going, I asked that question each of the last 3 or 4 nights. Well, can they keep this going? Can they keep this going? And every time I ask it, they go ahead and do it the next day.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, impressive tonight against the reigning American League Cy Young winner.
Yes.
Corey Kluber. And,
not to be discounted.
I think they get a rookie tomorrow, and then on Wednesday they get Trey Bauer. Another outstanding pitcher. So, we'll have a better, I guess.
And they match up Bauer with Jamison Tyone, whom in his past 3 starts has looked really good. So you look at beating Kluber in the first one, and for those who have heard me talk about this before, I always look at series, 3-game series in certain ways. There's a game you can win, a game you could potentially lose, and a game that can go either way. Well, if I'm looking at it, the game against Kluber is the one I'm marking up as a loss. I'm thinking as good as Kluber is, the resume he has, there's no way they're beating this guy. And he's the guy that they're pounding in the first time around. And they got the rookie tomorrow, so you say, well, maybe that's the game they'll probably win. And then facing Trevor Bauer against Tyone, both of those guys are pretty good pitchers, at least on reputation and pedigree. You figure, well, that's the one that can go either way. But it hasn't really gone that way. So far, it looks like they're very close to sewing up a win here. And I'll ask this question before we go to a break here. My next question is, what would be the most surprising part? We talked about the starting rotation. We've talked about the offense. What's been the most surprising part of this streak for you?
Well, to me, Josh, it's the play of Marte and Polanco. Because I had kind of, I don't want to say written them off, but I've been really critical of them, and I did not foresee them, turning it around and being great contributors to that team, which is exactly what they are now, of course.
Add in Corey Dickerson to that, too. He's hitting 364 during this stretch. He's definitely
that doesn't surprise me so much, but Marte and Polanco really surprised me.
Indeed. And not to mention the fact that if you want to mix in other secondary guys, I call them secondary because they're probably not daily starters, guys like Sean Rodriguez coming off the disabled list and doing what he's done. Elias Diaz continues to produce over and over again. Colin Moran silently is continuing to produce. So when you have your bigger name guys that are out in the forefront, and then you have this second wave coming in, it really just continues to snowball from there.
Yeah, that's why they're beating people 9-2, 12-1, 7-0 tonight.
Well, what we will do is we will take a break. We will come back. We will answer your questions. Taking your calls, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. We can talk Pirates. We can talk training camp. Who knows? Maybe we can talk Pens in Philly. We can talk college football. Big Ten Media Days today with Penn State. We'll talk about all of it. See you in a little bit.